helped out with Challenge B, and then I had to take my sister home, and then I had to go to piano, and then I had to come back, grab a quick lunch, then get ready for work. And it was my longest shift at work this week. Then come home, eat dinner, and now I'm here.
And here we are. Yeah, long day for you. Kind of a long day for me too. Let's go. Roto Hackers, Allied Rivals in the house.
What's up?
That's your other franchise.
Yes,
there.
Sir.
The other half.
Yep.
Cademan, I assume. AJ, when are we gonna do Allied Rivals?
Text me and we'll figure it out.
Okay, well. Wow, we went from 10 people watching to 1. I don't know what's going on with that.
That was something. Maybe it's still carried over from our last one, but we got somebody else in the chat, though.
What up, LW? Hey, Judah. Who's LW?
No idea.
LW. Luke Wilson. LW. What's up, man? Who
Good
are
to see
you?
ya.
LW. I'm trying to think. Good to have you. Thanks for being here with us. All right, let's get right into it. There was a lot of injuries this week. Oh,
again.
Lyndon. What's up, Lyndon? Do you like football, Lyndon? Cool to have you in here, buddy. Lyndon's a friend from out in Montana.
Nice.
So we need to get right into
news in the NFL today.
And part of the biggest news is all the injuries. We're looking at, oh, by the way, we are the Roto Hackers Podcast. My name is Judah Boot. I'm here with AJ Herschel, the man now. And we are talking waiver wire. There has been some injuries that are going to affect the waiver wire. Biggest one is CEH. CEH went out with I think he's got a sprained ankle, if I'm not.
Sprained ankle, knee, one of the two. Yeah, it was something like related.
He's going to be out a significant portion of time, probably about 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And we will probably be picking up Darrell Williams, right?
Yeah, he's definitely got to be the number one pickup for sure this week. Outside of apparently the Chiefs are looking into trading for Marlon Mack. Which is interesting. Mack had asked for a trade now, since they've got JT, they've got Hines as the passing back. So it makes sense. He's a good player, but he'd only been getting a couple carries at Indy. And so now the Chiefs are asking about him. So what do you think? Do you think to be fair, you called Herbert last week that he split the carries with Darrell Williams last week. Credit where credit is due. You totally called that one. So what do you think? Are you buying the Marlon Mack hype here?
Actually, Herbert had more carries than Darrell Williams. Did I say Darrell Williams? Because
Damian Williams for this one, Darrell Williams for the Chiefs. You got that one right. Yeah, you're good.
But okay. But you're going back to the Bears. Yeah, look, I think Khalil is somebody to look at now. Damian Williams got more of the catches. He was targeted more. Oh, and Lyndon says, I don't know much about football, but I like to hop on once in a while and watch a little. Yeah, man.
Thanks, man.
Well, thanks for showing up. Thanks for supporting. So it looks like a lot of what people are going to be looking for, of course, because this season RBs are premium. You got to have them.
Yeah.
My feeling is that there is a good batch of them out on the waiver. Now, Darrell Williams he's probably not the most available. But you started talking about Khalil Herbert, and there's a couple of names like that I think you can pick up. Another person who was hurt in the doghouse, not quite sure, was Damian Harris.
Yeah.
Not sure what happened with that, but halfway through the game, he's out.
Yeah, but we predicted this too, because every single year, with the exception of like LeGarrette Blount and James White, because he filled a specific role in the offense, There has never been a Patriots running back who got the carries every single week. Like even Deion Lewis, there was like 1 or 2 weeks where Rex Burkhead came in and vultured absolutely everything. Like, I don't know how much of it's Damian Harris and how much of it is just the fact that Bill Belichick is just super fickle with his running backs.
Well, I think it has a lot to. I think you always talk about that. Bill Belichick. I think there's a lot of rhyme to his reason. He looks at matchups.
Oh yeah,
and he'll play the hammer when it's time to play the hammer against a weak, front seven, and he will play the dancer or the pass catcher, the scat back when it's a strong front seven. So when it's a strong front seven, throw. When it's a weak front seven, hammer. And I think this in this case though, it's hard to tell who the hammer is. We know though who the dancer, the scat back is, although he also can play the hammer, and that is Brandon Bolden.
Yeah,
I've picked up Brandon Bolden in a lot of leagues already. I think he is the Patriots running back to go get, because as you've said before, he comes in and vultures those touchdowns.
Yeah.
He is the hammer when it comes down to the red zone, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I definitely think you're right about that. I'm not as excited as Bolden as you are, partially because I'm not as excited about Patriots running backs at all, outside of James White. So I don't know. It's there's him. I mean, Ramondre Stevenson could still come out of the doghouse at some point. And I mean, who knows how long Damian Harris is going to be there? Like, if you look at a guy like Darrell Williams or Damian Williams from last week, we know how long the injury is going to be out. We know how long they're going to be done. It's like 3 to 5 weeks or whatever. All right, you got your running back locked in. With Bolden, we don't know is it just going to be a 1 week thing? Is it a 2 week stint? Is he taking it over? I mean, sure, I definitely take him on in a lot of deeper leagues because for sure, the running back is just dead, as we've said before. But I'm not exactly chomping at the bit to go get Bolden this week. As he readjusts his microphone. While he's doing that, there was one other running back who went down, though.
Yes.
And that's Saquon. Again.
Saquon Barkley. It's like I put in the chat. Weak ankled Saquon Barkley. We've been saying for a couple of years. I think it was Jared that brought it up. First, when
it was him.
He said he looked at that huge body with those tiny little ankles, and it gave him pause.
Yeah.
So it gave more than pause to Saquon this week.
Yeah.
It took him out of the game, and he stepped on someone's foot, and you could see it go.
Yeah, twist.
So, are we picking up Booker?
Because
Booker came in and got most of the carries.
I think he got 17 points this week. I think Booker got 17 points. I like Saquon. In another universe where he's not banged up all the time. And I like Booker for 1 week. And granted, I'd like to just have it like I'm going to pick him up and try to keep him permanently because there's no telling how many other times Saquon's going to get banged up and go out again. Like, that's the thing. Booker, I feel like, is the most valuable running back. Who knows what he's going to go for on waivers and everything this week and fab because he scored twice last week. And also with Daniel Jones banged up too, they're probably going to be running it more as well anyway, and not letting Danny Dimes try to bullet headfirst into the end zone after what happened to him. And now Kenny Galladay's injured. The Giants are kind of like the worst version of the San Francisco 49ers, just as many injuries but more losses. So I like Booker. He's probably my favorite running back to pick up this week, even if it may not last forever.
Okay, well, we've talked about 5. Let's rank them. So we've got Khalil Herbert.
Yep.
We've got Bolden. We've got we should also put in who's the rookie there for the Patriots? Ramondre Stevenson.
Ramondre Stevenson, yeah.
And Booker. Who am I missing here? Who else did we talk about? Oh, Darrell Williams.
Darrell Williams, yeah.
Is there anybody else that I'm missing?
Marlon Mack, depending on what happens. If you want to try to preemptively grab him, yeah.
Now, the thing is about Marlon Mack is that I don't know if you saw this, but the Chiefs already picked up a running back. They picked
I
up.
don't know. Did they grab someone already?
Yeah, let me see who it was here. Scoobity boobity. But in the meantime, who would be your number one?
Oh, Booker for sure. I don't trust Saquon's health. I don't trust Saquon's health from here on out. When you put up 2 touchdowns already on a pretty stout Cowboys front 7, yeah, I will. Booker's definitely my number one. And then after that, it might be Herbert, just because the Bears are just officially a running team now. Clearly, I mean, we ran the ball 34 times last week. So they're going to have to split it between the 2 guys. And Bolden, I'm nervous about. Darrell Williams, I think, could be interesting. But even Darrell Williams, I think, could be interesting. He's probably my number 2 because at least I think he'll be starting. So unless you know of the guy the Chiefs picked up.
I thought it was a scat back that used to be. I thought I saw somebody.
Jerick McKinnon?
Yeah. No.
Oh, yeah.
No. Was it? No.
I mean, they signed him at the beginning of the year.
No, it was somebody else. It was like, who was the scatback that used to play for Washington?
Elijah McGuire.
Yes, it was Elijah.
I just Googled him.
So I think they picked up Elijah McGuire.
They did.
I'm not sure if that affects Marlon Mack's future, but it wouldn't make sense that they would pick up Elijah McGuire and pick up
Mack. I mean, granted, though, Mack is a starting quality running back in the NFL. Elijah McGuire got signed to the practice squad and hasn't carried the ball since 2018. So I feel like one of them is more an emergency, and the other one is actually a possible threat if they do trade for him.
Cademan says, "Sorry, AJ, I'm just on a roll in this listener league. Did he beat you as well?"
It was the worst matchup in the history of fantasy. We were both at about 40 going into Monday night until Hollywood Brown saved him. It's just been a mess for me. Julio was injured. Diggs isn't great. Gus Bus got injured. Edmonds was a game time decision, so he was banged up going into the game. I just had a bad week. It's just what it is.
Hey. Well, when you have a bad week, there's nothing like a little Drew Vano to cheer
What's
you up.
up, dude?
What's up, my dudes? Drew Vano back in the house.
Good.
What's up, Drew Vano? Cayman Nelson says, have I convinced you, especially AJ, that Chiefs are in a Super Bowl hangover?
I've never needed convincing they were in a Super Bowl hangover. He's still trying to get me from last year when I was vouching for the Niners because of the stupid amount of injuries they had in their defense. But I mentioned at the beginning of this year, I think the Chiefs are playing the Seattle Seahawks. They remind me so much of them. Like, remember when Russell Wilson won the Super Bowl? And then what happened? They went and lost to Brady. And next year, they lose pieces of their defense. What happened to the Chiefs? They lose pieces of their defense. They lost Sammy Watkins this year. I thought they were still going to be good. They were going to be competitive, which they have been. But their defense has just completely fallen off a cliff. And sure, part of that is due to injuries. But you've never needed to convince me about the Chiefs. I thought they were going to be like the 2015 Seahawks this year.
I still think they have a chance to make a run big time. But there is something about them that they didn't grow. It's like everybody sort of starting to
figure it out. Yup.
And they didn't really come, out with you thought you knew us. Now look at us and reinvent themselves. Right. It's just kind of the same old running around, making cool plays, but it doesn't work as well when you kind of already have you've already had 2 or 3 years to sort of feel out the rhythms.
Oh yeah. Like how many times we've seen the shovel pass on the goal line to Travis Kelce at this point, and how many? Right, exactly, and even the second time. But now it's like the 15th time we've seen this, and I'm expecting it at this point. And like with Tyreek Hill, he's shut down 5 out of 6 times because everybody after watching the Super Bowl realized, let's just put a safety over the top. It's literally that simple. And now you don't have Sammy Watkins to offset that as a bigger target. So you put your bigger guy on Kelce, you drop a safety deep on Tyreek Hill, and then you got to hope Mecole Hardman makes up for it with Byron Pringle. And I mean, they're not bad, but it's not like the highest caliber wide receiver 2 and 3, as much as I love Mecole.
I agree. Drew Vano says, between buys and injuries, I'm screwed at RB. Who's your top 4 RBs? And to top it off, I'm waiver wire priority 9. Well, I think we've already talked about some that you want to look at. If you didn't hear us, we talked about Khalil Herbert. He's one of my favorites.
He's probably more likely you're going to get a priority 9 is one of those two because Devontae Booker is going to be gone.
Devontae Booker, Darrell Williams, those guys are going to
Max probably going to be gone.
You know who another guy is that
hit me.
So who had a big blow up week that everybody's going to be, it's going to be in their mind. Plays for the Dolphins, running back.
Myles Gaskin.
But would it be unheard of for the coach to come back with someone like
Malcolm
Ahmed?
Brown.
What's his name? Ahmed?
Salvin Ahmed or Malcolm Brown?
Yeah, Salvin Ahmed. Brown, I'm like, but I bet Ahmed would be I saw him in the game get some pretty key. He didn't dominate the game, but he got some pretty key touches. Might be
2 carries for 5 yards.
I saw
against
him.
The Bucs.
Was that? Oh, well, that was against the Bucs. It must have been the week before. Yeah. I mean, against the Bucs, nobody got anything.
Yeah, that's the truth. They got 3 carries for 1 yard.
How did he do the week?
Against the Colts? Let's check the Raiders. No carries. He averages 2 carries and 2 receptions a week.
Well, no, but see how he's going up? I wouldn't be surprised if he's the next one to blow up.
I don't know. Marlon Mack just led the Dolphins in receiving last week. I mean, Myles Gaskin just led the Dolphins in receiving last week.
Well, just these are just my sleeper waiver wire. Sleeper waiver wire. Not the waiver wire, but maybe
very deep sleepers. Let's clarify.
Sleeper waiver wire. We also have Gainwell's, Sony, Bernard, Dillon are out there. Oh,
it's not bad.
If Dillon's out there, pick him up. Bernard too. If Bernard is out there, I think he could continue to be. I want to look at their schedule.
Yeah,
but
who do the Eagles have right now? Because that's also interesting. Bucs on Thursday night. Gainwell could be huge.
Yeah,
Bucs on Thursday night. They are going to probably go down by 20. What do the Eagles do when they go down by 20? Take Miles Sanders out and chuck Gainwell in. Now, that is one I don't mind. And Sony also, he vultured a touchdown from Darrell Henderson last week after Darrell went back in the game and was healthy. And, of course, he's going to be the handcuff in case Darrell Henderson, or as Jared said, when Darrell Henderson gets injured again. So I like Gainwell. All of those options, those are all really good. I think Gainwell is more immediate for an immediate need.
I would say above him is Bernard.
Really? You think so?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Look at how much usage he got this week, and he continues to get healthy. And as Brady continues to look at him as his James White.
Oh yeah.
All right. Who would you guys go with? I'd go with Bernard or Dillon. I like Dillon a lot.
I'd go Gainwell or Dillon.
Gainwell.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just a frustrated Miles Sanders owner who's sick of realizing Gainwell. It's like watching the game. Oh, that stinks. Then you look at the fantasy stats, realize Gainwell had 17 points and 12 receptions.
But he could also get you 0. All right. Also, Thomas H says, "Go Brady."
Yeah, let's go. Yes, they knocked off the Brewers in the playoffs tonight. Finished it off. They hit a home run off of the best closer in baseball.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I don't follow any baseball. All right. Drew Vanna says, over the waiver wire, guys. Yeah, so I think I would go Bernard over any of the guys we mentioned because I just think he's not available in many leagues, so I didn't really bring him up. Maybe he is more than I thought. Maybe I should take a look because I love Bernard. Is he available in our league? In our
14-team league, there is no telling who's available. I mean, for crying out loud, Tim Tebow might be picked up in our league, so I don't know.
He might be.
Over the waiver guys that we had, I would say like I said, Dylan and Gainwell might be above the guys we just meant. Well, actually, let me take that back. Devontae Booker would still be my number one because he's actually starting. Devontae Booker would be my number one because he's going to be the starting running back this week because Saquon is out. All of the other guys that are mentioned here, Gainwell, Sony, Bernard, Dylan, all of them are either splitting time or are handcuffs, playing on our handcuffs instead. So I would still go Booker as my number one, but then I would be more inclined to go Gainwell or Dylan over Khalil Herbert.
Yeah.
So well, that's what I would say.
Khalil Herbert, another thing that we forgot to mention is that Cohen may be back, probably not this week, but soon.
My boy. Oh, yeah.
We haven't heard anything about him, though, so.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with him. He's just silently nothing.
But Booker, Ramondre Stevenson, what do you think about David Johnson? How do you feel about David Johnson being a desperation waiver wire? Maybe a sleeper waiver wire?
Well, first of all, Drew Vano's in a 10-team league, so I don't think he's that desperate.
Definitely not, no.
But also, short answer, no for me, because Mark Ingram is kind of completely has the backfield, and then Phillip Lindsay right now is the 2. He's getting like 5 or 6 carries a game, and then David Johnson is getting carries, which I just feel so bad for this guy. He is like, injuries have completely messed up his career and then sent him to Houston for a decent season, and then they put him in a committee with Mark Ingram and Phillip Lindsay, who are all running backs I like, but come on, man.
Here is my argument for David Johnson. We all know that his name just lost my
Davis Mills?
No, the running back ahead of him, Mark Ingram. We all know that Mark Ingram is old, and he was old last year, and he did okay at the beginning of the year, but he tends to go down like many old running backs do, tends to taper off in the second half of the season. And lo and behold, you look at their schedule, it gets way easier after their bye. I think you could see a changing of the guard, except it's not typically what you see as far as the younger one taking over. Although, David Johnson is younger, but so I mean, Lindsay is too.
He's not that old, to be fair. Yeah, both of them are still decently young for running backs.
But I wouldn't be surprised if David Johnson had a couple big games coming up. If you just look at their schedule, let me go back here.
Yeah, it gets good after because he's got Indy, Arizona, and the Rams back to back, which aren't matches I want to see. But
week 9, Miami is not so bad. Tennessee in week 11 after their bye. Week 12, the Jets.
Yeah,
you're right. Indy is hard, but then the Seahawks is like the shadow of the Seahawks or whoever's going to be playing there.
Yeah.
Jacksonville and like you said, the Chargers. That's a pretty sweet little run. I bet you anything. Sleeper waiver wire that David Johnson has a couple big games in there.
Bet me anything. Is that a bet you're actually willing to make?
That is a phrase that I use. Perhaps I shouldn't. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention I beat Judah this week. I almost forgot to brag about that. Well. Looky. I thought for sure I was going to win that game too. This week, it was.
Yeah, how did you do this week? How'd you do this week?
Not great. I had a couple huge wins. I had 2 huge wins.
Nice.
I had one I thought was in the bag. I thought it was in the bag. I was like ahead. I already had 100. My opponent had like 60.
Yeah.
And
then Monday night happened.
No, it was actually Sunday night.
Really?
And then Monday night.
Oh, yeah.
Down, you know?
Yeah.
I thought I was like, I had more players going Monday night, but I just
couldn't. Oh, wow.
Yeah. He had. Who did he have? Who played?
On Sunday or Monday?
On Monday night, he had some Chiefs. And
Andrew.
Yeah, he had Chiefs. And I had Kelsey. Anyways, I had Kelsey
gotcha.
and who else? I can't remember. I had 2, but then I think he had Hollywood. He put Hollywood.
That's 30. Yeah.
So
Hollywood's fourth quarter overtime. Man, I know some people are mad or happy about that one. That either saved or killed people.
Well, I had him in a league and it didn't do me any good against Jonathan Buster, the Roto Hackers nemesis. He had 230 points or something.
What?
I couldn't. Of course, he's got you have defensive players too.
Okay. Oh, okay. That makes more sense then. Yeah.
It was just nasty. All right. So Drew Vanner says, I need a running back, a wide receiver, running back, tight end, flex. 2. Oh. What? 2.
No, he needs a flex too.
Oh,
he needs us to pick a flex as well. Yeah.
Man, I dropped Robbie Anderson. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh no, I missed that.
I spike dropped him. I want somebody else to try to play him. All right.
Yeah, Andrews over that easy. I mean, especially after he's not going to have, 30, 40 points like he did last week, but Robbie Anderson.
Yeah, I'm taking Robbie Anderson, and then I would pick up Bernard. Robbie is
over Mark Andrews. You would have
he's going to play Mark Andrews in the.
No, it's a no tight end league. It's a no tight end league.
A no tight end league. Oh,
yeah. So he needs a flex spot. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'd probably play Mark Andrews. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Mark Andrews. G. Elver says thoughts on trading.
I love how you read that backwards. That was impressive.
Well, what can I tell you? Traded Hunt and Patterson for Diggs. I don't like it. I have Cook and Swift. Ooh, nice. I would love to have Cook and Swift. Ridley, AJ Brown. Okay. I see why you traded for Diggs.
Yeah. Well,
Hollywood is probably been and Thomas comes back maybe after their bye, maybe after this week.
Yeah.
So you could, I don't know. I would have held on to Patterson. I really believe in Patterson. I'm just going to come out and say I'd stay in the Flames with Patterson. That's their only offense. I don't other than the breakout of Pitts, but Pitts was made possible by defense.
By viewers like you.
By defenses.
Yeah.
By in particular, we're talking about the Jets defense skewing towards
London.
Yeah, towards the short pass because they're so afraid of getting burnt by Patterson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is definitely one of the things that I think it was Ryan in who always says he trades his lower-ish players for studs and kind of tries to just stack his team, which I get because this team, Ridley, Diggs, and Hill, and AJ Brown, all stud wide receivers who have not quite lived up to their potential. So the chance get out with that. So the chances of at least one or two of them blowing up is like exponential. One of them's going to get back on course, whether it's with Ridley, whether it's Diggs, whether it's Hill. It's possible, I'm saying. You've got 5 great wide receivers. Now, I do think you might have been able to get someone else out of that trade due to the fact that we talked about before. Running backs are so valuable right now. And Hunt, he's boom or bust, sure, but Patterson's been really consistent, and Diggs has not. So granted, I mean, of course, it depends on the person who you're trying to trade with, if they're super finicky or whatever, if they kind of realize, oh, yeah, I'm trading a guy who's put up no more than 14 points for 2 people who both put up 25 plus in certain weeks. I think it's all right. I think Diggs, Ridley, Brown, Hollywood, Hill, and Michael Thomas on your bench is possible. Somebody there is going to blow up, especially Cook worries me due to his injury history. He's always worried me. I get it. I'll say that. I get it.
I'll tell you this right now. I would have given him Hunt. I mean, I would have given him Diggs for Hunt straight up. I would much rather have Hunt than Diggs.
Wow. I actually probably made a mistake in one league. I didn't end up trading Diggs, and it was a package of Diggs and Sanders for D Swift and some other pieces, which I should have done.
D Swift is by far the number one fancy
I'm aware.
running back right now.
Yeah, I should have done it. Yeah.
I mean, I didn't expect it. I never.
No
I
one
wouldn't
did.
know that.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Okay, so bars in the tuck.
Tuck. Yeah.
Bars in the tuck. Left field question of the week. My league, full PPR,
Okay.
gives points for return yards. Yeah, actually, I have a league that does
Huh.
that too. Should I pick up Jamal Agnew since he's getting targets now? The Jags D to double up if he gets a return. Plus the Jags D. Oh, so
yeah,
okay,
he's looking to
I see what
get
you're
double
saying.
there. Yeah.
I just how many targets did he get? He got like 5.
I can check real quick while we're looking.
I did notice that he was getting more play because I was like, oh, there's the guy that ran back that, that the longest
the 102-yard return or whatever. Yeah, 109-yard field goal return. Yeah, he got 6 catches for 41 yards, which which is pretty good because if you look at the other guys who are leading in return yards right now, DeAndre Carter, Washington. Okay. Byron Pringle, 2 catches a week. Andre Roberts plays on Houston. And then Jamal Agnew. And then Khalil Herbert's also there. So, Cordero's going to be taken. So, between Khalil Herbert and Jamal Agnew and Byron Pringle, I get that you want Jamal Agnew. I mean, double. And the Jags defense is a little bit iffy to me because who do the Jaguars get this week? Dolphins? Well, actually, if you're going to play any Jaguars, the Jaguars defense against anyone, it might as well be Miami. I think Jamal Agnew could make sense if you wanted to pick him up since you're getting return yards. He's averaging 30 yards a return right now, so I do think that makes sense for sure. Jags defense, I'm iffier on, but Agnew I can get with that.
Yeah, I don't hate it. The only other thing I'd say is Pringle. If you want to double up, I would pick up Pringle as well because I think it looks like he is the answer to the offense, kind of like you were saying, especially with Hill a little banged up.
Yeah.
I have a free spot with CEH on IR, and heck, it's London. Oh, it's a London game? Oh,
yeah.
Right. Go for it.
Yeah, why not? Do it, man.
I like it. I love that idea. Actually, I might do it in the league where that's a genius idea, actually.
Do it! Come on! Do it now!
Yes. All right, well, let's move on to some more sleeper waiver wires. And because we haven't talked about wide receivers, what is your first? Give me just what is your first take on Kadarius Toney? How are you feeling about him at this point?
Who else are the Giants going to throw to?
I don't like that argument because
I don't like it either. But realistically here,
he's good.
He's good. He's a good player. And last week he blew up. Granted, they were getting destroyed by Dallas, so I mean they were throwing it 57 times in the game. But the quarterbacks only threw for 200 yards, and so him getting 180 of those is just that's nuts. That's crazy. It's crazy. And with Galladay going down, I do like Kadarius Toney a lot. But then again, he's also probably going to be the number 1 pickup because he put 180 yards last week.
Yeah. Do you think he's going to be the number 1 pickup or what's his name?
Booker because he's a running back because of the state of running backs right now. But other than that, it would definitely be him. It would definitely be Kadarius Toney.
Would you say Devontae Booker or Darrell Williams? I go with Darrell Williams. It's a better offense, more likely to get. I mean, and he's already been integrated into the offense. He knows the offense. He's been running back, 2 forever there. Devontae Booker, this is his first year in New York, and I don't know. He did fine, but like you said,
he did good. He got 2 touchdowns. To be fair.
I just never liked Booker, and I don't trust that team could get 0 any week. Any week they could get 0.
Yeah,
and you know that the Chiefs are going to be on fire and looking for blood.
Yeah.
Right now. Next one for the wide receivers. So yeah, I would go out and get. The only thing to think about Tony is that he punched a guy, and so he may not be playing this next week.
Oh my God. I love this Giants carousel of wide receivers that we're getting here. The year started. Oh, go grab Sterling Shepard. He goes down. Oh, grab Darius Slayton. Wait, he's injured in the same game. Oh, it's finally time to start Kenny Galladay. He's injured now. Come on.
I would give the nah wave to all of them. And you know who's interesting to me now?
Who?
Because I gave him the nah wave at the beginning of the year. Remember we talked about Marquez Callaway. And
Yeah.
I remember saying, like, I don't want to pick him up because I don't know who they're going to throw to. However, it seems like he is really the focus is really coming in on him as the number one receiver. Now the problem is they have a bye next week. No, don't they have a bye this week?
Yeah, they have a bye this week. And then the other problem is that there's a phrase I like to use with somebody else. We were co-managing a team one year, and Anquan Bolden just was beautiful for putting up exactly 15 points and then scoring 2 and then 13 and then 3 and then 20 and then 5, very literally every other week. That is Callaway with targets. He goes from 5 to 2 to 8 to 2. He is the definition of a boomer bust receiver right now.
This is what scared me at the beginning of the year because in my mind, if I'm the quarterback, just from a fantasy standpoint, I don't know really how the quarterback, how Winston felt, but I can't tell the difference between Callaway and Harris. It's like all these different wide receivers, they kind of all play the same, right? Like none of them stand out.
Ouch. Wow. Taking shots at the New Orleans Saints wide receiver core here.
But you know who I had my eye on that I was sorely disappointed and now is starting to stand out, and that is
Michael Thomas. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, well, I picked up Michael Thomas a couple of leagues, put him on the waiver wire, but so it might pay off. It may not. But Amon-Ra Brown, the Pharaoh himself, may be coming on. I think they desperately need somebody to step up because they just can't do it all through Swift and Hawkinson. And Hawkinson's good. I always say tight end's the easiest to cover. So you always want to hedge away from the tight end. The hardest to cover is the running back as far as shutting down, because they just wear you down after a while, right? Unless you've got a shut down defense. But Amon St. Ra, now that he's really starting to get a hold of the scheme, the play calls, I think that he's really starting to he could come on.
It's also helpful that my guy Quintez Cephas is on IR.
True that.
That helps a lot too. And now he's had 8 targets in back-to-back games. He went from 1 target to 16 in 2 games. And with Quintez Cephas out, I know you hate this argument. Who else are they going to throw to? I mean, outside of their running backs, they got Swift, they got Williams, they got all of them. But yeah.
Do you have any interest in Preston Williams for Miami? Because he was every time I was desperately needing a big game from Waddle. And every time I saw somebody catch, I was like, yes, Waddle got that. Huh? Williams? I saw the W and I was like, what? Williams is back. He retired or something.
See, Preston Williams reminds me a lot of Zach Pascal from like 2 years ago when he would get like 15 catches when T.Y. went out and was like, oh my goodness, no way. And the next week, Paris Campbell gets like 6, and then Jonathan Taylor gets 37 carries. And I'd be like, what happened? What happened here? Preston Williams. I honestly am sick of every single Dolphins wide receiver. I'll tell you that much. Waddle gets targets and no yards. Parker can't stay healthy. Williams has caught 4 passes all year, and Myles Gaskin had 10 catches last week. So I'm pretty fed up with everything Miami receiver core related.
And then when does Fuller come back? So I mean, I don't. Yeah, I think I'm probably steering.
It's a dangerous question.
I'm steering clear of, unless everybody gets hurt but Waddle. Then I've got Waddle. I've got Waddle in Dynasty, so I'm just like holding on to him, being like, "Come on," because when you see him play, he's dynamic. He's
good.
one of my favorite rookie wide receivers to watch play, but it's just hard to tell what's going on with that offense.
Yeah.
Let's move on to tight ends, unless we have any comments about who's your favorite wide receiver out of all those that we've mentioned. Amon St. Ra is my favorite, but there's quite a few that we mentioned there. Between Preston Williams, Callaway, and Tooney.
Oh yeah, Kadarius Toney's probably the number one for me.
Number one,
just because the Giants have nothing else to do. But outside of him, it's Amon-Ra St. Brown for sure.
Yeah. Okay, and last, actually, no, we didn't talk about quarterbacks, but we do want to talk about tight ends because we got still a lot of tight ends out. Of course, we've got Logan Thomas, and looks like Gronkowski is going to be another big goose egg this week. So, who are you picking up tight ends? Do you have any particular that stuck out to you that might be on the waiver wire?
Yeah, one of them could be funny, but I don't really trust it because it's a Thursday night game. Goddard's on the COVID list.
Oh yeah, and Goddard's on the COVID list as well.
Zach Ertz might come back for a total of one game in a weird Thursday night. It's very possible that he blows up in his one big opportunity against Tampa this week.
He hasn't been bad otherwise.
True.
I mean, even with Goddard in there, he's been a regular target. He hasn't been the go-to tight end, but in some plays, he's the number one read.
Yeah.
I think that's great. If Ertz is still on the waiver wire, have you checked to see what percentage waiver wire
Yep,
he is?
I'm looking at it right now. Zach Ertz is 38% rostered.
Yeah, I'd go get him.
I mean, granted, it's a risk. It's a risk because it's Thursday night, but he's going to be taking all of Goddard's targets this week.
Now, Njoku went off this week. Are you buying it?
Well, no. I liked David Njoku when he got drafted. He also got 70 of his yards and the touchdown on one catch, which, as Jared would say, isn't sustainable. So I look, I like Njoku. He had a great week. Look, Njoku had a great week, but I've said this time and time again, I don't trust Mayfield spreading the ball around. I typically don't trust Browns wide receivers unless you're Jarvis Landry after week 10. So I'm not buying it for a season-long play or even like the next couple of weeks. Not really. I think it was a blow-up game.
I've always liked him, like you said. I've always liked him. And,
he's got skill.
Are you dropping? I know you don't have him anywhere, but would you drop the man OBJ?
I actually got to double check what he actually did because, like you said, I don't have him anywhere.
He didn't do squat. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and which I mean, something I literally just said. I don't trust Browns receivers. I don't. Like I said before, I've said this, I don't know how many times I've complained about this to just people in real life. Baker Mayfield is the most mediocre fantasy quarterback in the history of the world. He throws 3 passes to Austin Seifert. He throws 5 to OBJ, who catches 2 of them. And then he throws 1 random one to Austin Hooper in the back of the end zone for 1 target, 1 catch, 1 yard, 1 touchdown. So I have never liked getting Browns receivers outside of Jarvis Landry. So time to drop Odell.
I'm so close to
give it. I would give him a week. He went up against a really tough Chargers defense and did nothing in a shootout, which normally doesn't bode well. But this is the last week I give it to him.
Okay, the last one I did mention last week, Ricky Seals-Jones.
Yeah, you did.
Over. He didn't blow up, but the stats were pretty good as far as like the future. Now, just coming into the offense,
8 targets.
He had 8 targets, so it could bode well for him going forward with good matchups. I would keep an eye on him. And he's playing KC. I'd pick him up. Ricky Seals-Jones. That's going to be my number one tight end pickup, honestly.
Fair. It's a good one. That's a good one.
Okay, last but not least, quarterback. Let's just give 2 each because I gotta go. Do you have any quarterbacks that you're eyeballing this week?
Look, I normally wouldn't do this, but he plays Houston. Carson Wentz could be a good, really deep league play. I don't think he's going to blow up. Jonathan Taylor will probably get most of the points, but I don't mind it. I know a lot of people probably got burned from Sam Darnold last week against Philly, but I keep telling people this. Philly's gonna stun some people. I've been saying it for weeks. Yeah, and they knocked off a team that had a surprisingly good record when you actually look at their roster.
Their secondary is stout.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know some people probably got burned by Heineke too, but the Chiefs do not have nearly as good of a defense either. So though I'll say for deeper leagues, Heineke and Carson Wentz.
I love that call. Carson Wentz is one of my favorite. He has such a potential to blow up. Now he does have potential to get hurt. That's the main drawback for him.
He's the only person in like the history of the world to twist both ankles on the same play.
What was he doing? He is reckless, but that reckless tenacity is what gets him these long, beautiful. Because he knows the game. He's got like such a high NFL IQ. If Winston's on the waiver wire, I say go get him.
That's a weird one.
Taysom Hill is probably out with a concussion. I think we're going to see the rise of Winston, and I think they're going to start taking. But they're on bye this week. This would be the week to go get him. I think.
Yeah. I would like him to complete more than 18 passes, though. That's a lot of people going to drop him. He's 34% rostered. The people that have him are probably in with him for the long run. But
I don't know. I think you're going to see a lot of people drop him for. Dude, the buy NATO is almost every week this year.
That's true. Like, that is very true.
I don't know if you've noticed, but this week is pretty, for me at least, is pretty hard.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad for me. Like I've glanced at a couple of the bye weeks this week.
Who are the ones that are out? Who are the ones that are out? We know that the
Falcons are out. 49ers are out. Saints are out. Jets are out. That's it.
That's a lot of fantasy. Well, I guess because I have a lot of Saints and I have a lot of Falcons.
Gotcha. Yeah, for me, it's like. It stinks if I have Mike Davis anywhere. It stinks for the places I have Debo. That really hurts. Ridley was out last week, so I was already, putting Band-Aids over my wide receiver spots in deeper leagues anyway, so I just got to carry with that. But Jets, Saints, okay, Kamara's out. That's rough, but, it could be a lot worse, and I think it will get a lot worse in coming weeks.
Let me ask you a question. Would you pick up Brissett for a fill-in? I mean, if you're desperate at quarterback, if you have we got some quarterbacks that are injured, right? We have Russell Wilson out. We have a couple people. Well, and we have Winston out. We have, I guess, not a lot of starting quarterbacks for fantasy out this week.
Yeah,
but could you imagine being desperate enough to play Brissett?
No, because I drafted Matthew Stafford everywhere.
Matthew Stafford's injured too.
Okay, he's banged. Yeah, but Brissett injured his hamstring. He's questionable too. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But also, this is Stafford we're talking about. But yeah, Jacoby Brissett. Has he scored more than 15 points this year?
No, but that's why he's going to.
I think the pull of the fact that they are playing Jacksonville.
He scored 16 this week. 20. He scored 20 in week 3.
Okay, good. Oh, right. In the game where he threw a bubble screen into the end zone to Jalen Waddle. Right. I think for the matchup against Jacksonville, I could be desperate enough. I'm not desperate enough.
Would you rather play Goff or Brissett this week?
Who does Goff get? Cincinnati? Brissett, because he's playing Jacksonville. If he's healthy, then yeah.
I might be picking up Brissett.
you're in a situation where you have to get Brissett or Goff, aren't you?
Oh wait, no, I forgot I have Burrow. Never mind.
Okay, you're good.
All right. Well, that does it. Unless you have any sleeper waiver wires that you were thinking of.
Not really. I think my kicker stuff can get saved for Saturday, so
Yeah, we can talk
I
about
think
that.
I'm good there.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. A lot of people joined us today. A lot of new faces. A lot of regulars. Appreciate it, all of you guys. And we missed Jared, but he was on special assignment.
Mhm.
So from us to you, good luck on the waiver wire.
Yeah. Good luck this week. Trust me, with this running back situation, we all need it.